Good evening and welcome to Budget Model Railways. Sorry it's been a long time since we did a video. Things have been quite busy our end, lots going on, including a couple of holidays to be fair. So I thought I'd do, I finally found time to sit and run some trains, and I've got a new to me loco there at the bottom, which I thought I would talk about, and a little one over the back which we'll run. I've got some interesting things I've seen, a model railway exhibition recently, so worth staying with us for a few things, if only to see some steam trains running around. So this is quite a remarkable loco actually. There we go, that's better. Sorry for the shaky camera work. I've gone back to handheld. So this is Cato. This is a 462 tender locomotive, pulling a coach around there. And there's a couple of interesting things about this. It's a C55 looking at the box. So first things are that's, as I said, a large steam locomotive, 462, and it's going around 6-inch radius curves. I'm not sure you're going to do that with much UK outline stuff. And that's one of the really impressive things about Cato, is they're all designed to go around very small radius curves. I'm not worried about the fact it looks a bit odd going around the bends. The important thing is it goes round them. I did have to move some of the, I'm going to say this wrong, I always do, catenary poles out of the way to give clearance. I've only got one coach on there because I'm testing clearances, but it will pull a couple. Now the other interesting thing that I like about Cato is that, which is, I'll see if I can pause it so you can have a good look. It's got 3 directional lights on the front of there. I've had it running over points and things fine. Just look at the level of detail on there. You know, that's not a toy loco, that's a high-end, you know, model locomotive. I don't know what a UK outline locomotive that big would cost second hand. This cost me £36. £36 for a 462 steam locomotive. And that's why I'm really into my Cato at the moment. That's a fraction. It's probably a third of what a similar thing will cost you second hand UK outline. I got it at the same time actually as this, which is a nice little centre cab diesel. DD13 there, beautiful runner, really smooth and quiet over all the points. Cost me 30 quid, and those two prices are including postage before anybody jumps up and down. So that's why at the moment I'm really into my Cato, because the second-hand prices are cheap, and these aren't cheap looking locos. These are not cheap locos, these are superb running locomotives. I'll let that run round, and then we'll run the little one round because that's quite a smart loco, and there's a little bit of a story about that. I did go to the Faversham show last weekend. Fantastic show. Whoever the organisers were, I think it was Faversham Model Railway Club. Wonderful show. Thank you very much. So I'm trying to multitask here, not very successfully. Just the right mix for me. More layouts than traders. I don't really like shows that are really... Apparently this is what a lot of American shows are like, where they're really more about selling you things. I don't like too many traders. I think they're not trade shows, they're model railway shows. And Faversham got that absolutely right. But the traders that were there were very good, I have to say. Good prices and nice range. I saw a couple of really interesting layouts at Faversham. There was an 009 one based on Launceston in Cornwall. Really clever idea for when I do a bigger layout. The whole thing is set in a cutting. So the track runs in through a cutting and the station is in a cutting. It's just a really unusual idea. You know, I like my railways to look like they're in the landscape, not on the landscape. Well, this is literally in the landscape because it's below the surface. Really good. But one of the most impressive ones I saw was the simplest, and it was one called the Victory. Hello, Ollie, if you hear about this. It was a simple shunting layout, a loop and a siding in 00, and it was set on a beach. And he didn't put a back scene on it. It was basically 2 or 3 very nice scratch-built buildings and some track on a beach with some puddles. But it was so effective. You know me, I like simple, effective layouts, and that's the best I've ever seen because it absolutely evoked the atmosphere of a beach scene. You know, I live in Eastbourne where we've got the Crumbles, where incidentally there was a railway many years ago, and there isn't anything there. It's like Romney Marsh. It's just beach and track. So it was really impressive for what is a simple layout. By not having a back seat, you also had full walk around like you've got here, which is really interesting at an exhibition because for a layout that was probably only 4 foot by a foot, he could get people all around it because it was sat on a corner. So really, really quite taken with that show. It was a good day out. This little loco, so the whole N-gauge story was really started by these Kato pocket line steam locos, and this is probably the smartest one. Black lines, very smart coaches. I bought it second hand for quite a good price, but didn't realise that it was the older motor version, and it didn't run very well. And of course, suddenly realised one day that for £24 I could buy the correct chassis. It's not a 109, it's a slightly different one. Drop that in, it's the new motor, so of course it runs beautifully. So I'm quite taken with these. You can even shunt with these. The motor's in the first coach, but that's fine. You just run a mixed train and you shunt. I've got a green one that I do the shunting with. So I'm quite pleased tonight. It's been quite hectic the last week, even although the holidays were really nice. But it is really good to be back running some trains. I'm hopefully got a couple of ideas for layout, so I'm hoping to get back to some more layout construction. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying running trains. So I thought maybe you'd enjoy watching some trains run as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.